Yo, what's up? It's me, Des. I'm in the woods behind my house. Um, think I'm gonna regret this, but the mosquitoes are killing me right now. Oh my god, what was that? That hurt. He bit me right on my knuckle, man. God damn. Yeah, so I kind of just wanted to make a video on the Fuji 50R, the GFX 50R. It's been a phenomenal camera to use, and it's got me excited about photography again, which I haven't felt in a very long time. Here, let me come over there. Yo. He's better. My god, this is bad. I might have to finish shooting this another time because I am dying. But the first time I've ever really felt super excited about a camera was when I bought my first full frame photo camera, which was a 5D Classic. Okay, I can't do this. I gotta go. Alright, I think that's a little better. I'm out in the middle of the beach, so there shouldn't be any mosquitoes out here. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, like I haven't felt this excited about photography in a very long time, and it's pretty awesome. It all kind of started with photography, so before the YouTube channel, before the production company, before Instagram Reels, you know what I mean, before like any of that, it was all photography. All I wanted to do was take photos and become at the time I wanted to become a wartime journalist photographer. One of my favorite photographers was Steve McCurry. I think that's his name, but you know, the one with he took that portrait of the Russian girl with the blue eyes, or the Afghan girl with the blue eyes. When I saw his work, I was always obsessed with it. So from then on, I was like, okay, how do I become a photographer? How do I become a wartime photographer? And this was kind of like before I joined the army and then when I was in the military. So that idea started to creep into my mind before I left the military. So there's actually a job in the military called image technician, which is just a fancy word for a photographer and a videographer. So your job is just to take photos and make videos, which I thought was pretty cool. At the time, I was a combat engineer, so I was looking for a way out. So I was like, oh, you know, it'd be kind of cool if I became a image tech, so I can, you know, still get paid and kind of pursue that dream of being a wartime photographer. So, you know, if I ever get deployed, I can take photos and do all that kind of cool stuff. But then, you know, I was also a little finished with the military at the time, so I decided that I was going to leave and just pursue photography and video full time, because then I started to learn video as I started taking photos in the military, and then I realized, oh, I can kind of do this as a job. So that's kind of where it all started. The reason I'm so excited about this camera is it's kind of giving me that feeling again that I felt back in the day when I first started out doing photos and videography and all that. So the Fuji 50R, that's the camera I bought. I've been eyeing it for a long time. It's been on my radar forever, but I just never really pulled the trigger on it because it's expensive, even for being like an 8-year-old camera. I don't know how old it is, but it's pretty old. But it kind of made a comeback with the new GFX 100R, I think it is, with the fixed lens. So I was like, I'm just gonna pull the trigger, buy the camera, you know, use it for the business because I have a production company and we do take photos. So I was like, yeah, it kind of makes sense, you know, having a medium format photography camera. The feeling that I had when I bought my Canon 5D Classic is the same feeling that I have right now with this 50R. And I know gear, people say all the time, gear doesn't matter. To me, it kind of matters. You know, it's fun. It gives me that fire to go out and shoot again. I remember when I was when I first started, we used to do these photo walks. It was just like a random group of friends of mine. You know, I remember Ty was there, Zach. This is how I met my business partner, Nate. We would just like explore Fredericton area and take photos to post on Instagram and stuff. And it was such a great time for growth, I think. You learn so much when you're in those early days, just kind of messing around. Yeah, so that feeling I had, because I remember I was super excited for the Canon because it was like my first full frame photography camera, because before that I had the Canon T5i, which I bought, which was a great camera at the time for me. It had like a flip out screen and, you know, took videos like 1080p. But I remember that feeling, you know, having the full frame and then taking photos, and I was like, damn, like stepped up a level. My time might be running out here. The tide's slowly coming in. So I'm in a spot on the beach where in like 2 hours this is going to be over my head in water. But it's really cool. I remember meeting up with friends, going out, just exploring and taking photos. It was so fun. I miss that feeling, which is kind of why I want to keep, you know, grinding YouTube, because it's the same feeling for me. I'm grateful enough to do this as a job full time, like being a filmmaker and a cinematographer, like being able to travel and do all that stuff. But it's hard, you know, like I have to leave family and stuff. So, but the feeling of like the excitement and just kind of making cool stuff with friends is kind of what YouTube has given me. So I feel like just pursuing that is going to be a lot of fun again. You know, it's been a couple months since I've uploaded, but all I think about is YouTube right now. Like I just want to make videos. So the summer's here. I got little bit more time. You know, winter's a little bit crazy with Inspire and, you know, the production company. So things kind of slowed down. So I'm just gonna put some time into YouTube and really get to a good spot where I'm, you know, feeling comfortable and get a good routine with it. So why am I so excited about this camera? So it's like kind of a next step up, right? So I started with Super 35 APS-C kind of cameras. Then I got into full frame, got the Canon 5D Classic, A7 III, A7S III, then like Canon 5D Mark III, or no, Canon, what do I have for a video camera? I had the FX6, then I bought the Canon, I don't even know what my camera's called, C500, a C500 Mark II, which is a full frame. So like being able to shoot on full frame, I think, I don't know if I can ever go back. I know the Alexa 35, whatever. That doesn't matter. But anyways, it feels like a next step up. Going from full frame to medium format is just like a new level. The lens I want to buy next is the Medicon 65 1.4, I think. I don't know. There's a YouTuber, Kyle McDougal. Holy fuck. I didn't even notice, but I'm like covered in water now. Anyways, I'm going to hurry up. Kyle McDougal, he made tons of videos on the 50R. I think that's where I kind of discovered it, was his videos, and it kind of made me obsessed. And the more YouTubers I follow started buying it, like Kofi and what's that guy, Chris Brockhurst? Yeah, the Canadian British guy. Cam. They all started getting this camera, the 50R, and shooting photos, and it kind of fits my style, I think, you know. I love shooting on film, but I also hate shooting on film because of how expensive it is. So it's kind of the same feeling, you know, like the 50R is it's a slower camera. The shutter speed is slow. Everything about it's slower. Autofocus is slow, but the images that come out are beautiful and film-like, I think. So it's film-like. It gives that image, I think, like it gives me an image that I'm excited about again, you know, having a medium format, I don't know, photo. I can do so much with it. I can crop in. I can, you know, make smaller files if I need to. I don't know. It's just exciting for me. So what else I like is, you know, the JPEGs, just being on a Fujifilm. I think anyone who shoots on Fuji knows this. The only other photo camera I have is a Fuji X100V. So not the newest one, but the one before that. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is that reigniting the fire again for photography. Like I used to like do everything with my camera. I know that can be a little toxic sometimes, like working too hard, but back then it was a passion, it was fun, so I wasn't like, oh, I gotta do this for work, you know. But This camera just gets me excited to even do like family stuff. I'm just hanging out with the kids or the wife, you know, just shooting photos. It's good just to walk with it everywhere. Like, I don't know. It kind of ignites that little that that excitement again for being creative. I am completely surrounded by water now. And I think the biggest thing that gets me excited about this camera is it kind of reminds me of why I started in the first place. And I feel like remembering that feeling has kind of been the biggest, like, I don't know how, I'm not good at English. The biggest, like, upside to getting this camera, like, it's gotten me excited again. I can feel, I mean, it might also just be summer. Like, summer's here again. I'm not as depressed anymore. But anyway, I mean, like, it's really, like, exciting, you know? I'm just excited to make shit again. It can be a lot of fun. So, yeah, how long have I been recording this? 15 minutes. I feel like that's good. I don't need to keep going. You get the point. I like the fucking camera. It's cool. But yeah, if you're feeling like stuck or burnt out, just remember why you started in the first place. All right, well, I think that's it. Completely surrounded by water now. I'll show you guys what I have going on here. Oh, don't drop this. So that was my talking head spot. The ocean's slowly coming in. There's my truck. Just on the beach there.